If you ever thought about growing asparagus but felt a little intimidated by it, I want to show you just how simple it can be to get started, and more importantly, how to do it the right way so you're not wasting time or money. Because once you plant asparagus properly, this is one of those crops that can feed you for years and years with very little work. And I'll be honest, this is one of those plants where a few small decisions in the beginning can make a huge difference on how productive your bed is later on. So today I'm going to walk you through everything from how to choose the right asparagus crowns, how to prepare your asparagus bed, and exactly how to plant them into the soil so they thrive. If you're new here, my name is Jara. I'm a lifelong gardener, permaculture designer, and I own a seed and plant nursery in Orlando, Florida. My mission is to help home gardeners grow more food by sharing the exact plants, techniques, and industry secrets I use every day in both my garden and my nursery. If you want to grow along with me, many of the same seeds and plants I mentioned are available on my website, jarasgarden.com. And by the way, I do sell some asparagus crowns. Here's what they look like right here. They're nice, big, and healthy. At the time of posting this video, I do have some in stock, but I do expect them to go very quickly. And it is kind of like a seasonal item. I only offer it in the springtime. So depending on when you're watching this video, I may or may not have some in stock. If they're not in stock, you can always click the notify me when available button so you get an instant email restock notice when I do restock some more. Now let's start with something that confuses a lot of people when they go to buy asparagus, and that's the crowns themselves. When you're shopping for asparagus, you're not usually buying seeds, you're buying crowns, which are essentially young root systems that are already established and ready to grow. You'll often see labels that say 1-year-old crowns or 2-year-old crowns, and what that means is how long that plant has been growing before it gets to you. A 1-year crown is younger, usually more affordable, and still perfectly capable of establishing and producing. A 2-year-old crown is a little more mature, sometimes a bit more expensive, and it can give you a slightly quicker start. But I'll tell you from experience, both can do really well if they're healthy, so what matters more is the quality of the crown itself. And this is a 1-year-old crown, and they're huge. When you're looking at crowns, you want something that looks firm, not dried out, with a nice developed root system. You don't want anything mushy, moldy, or super shriveled because it's going to struggle once you plant it. Another thing I always recommend, and this is something a lot of gardeners don't realize, is looking into whether the variety is male or female. Male asparagus plants are usually preferred because they don't put energy into producing seeds. That means more energy goes into producing spears to harvest and eat. Female plants can still grow just fine, but they'll produce berries and seeds, which can lead to more volunteer plants popping up and usually slightly lower yields. So if you see varieties labeled as predominantly male, those are often a really great choice if your goal is production. Now, this is a perfect time to talk about varieties because not all asparagus is the same, and choosing the right one can really make a difference depending on your climate and your goals. One of the most popular varieties is Millennium, and this one is known for being very productive, cold hardy, and a predominantly male hybrid, which means you're going to get higher yields. It's a really reliable choice for a lot of gardeners. Another favorite is Purple Passion, which is exactly what it sounds like. It produces beautiful purple tinged spears that are a little sweeter and more tender than green asparagus. It's great if you want something a little different, especially for fresh eating. The purple color does fade to green when cooked. UC 157 is another one I see a lot, especially in warmer climates. This one was actually bred to handle heat better than many traditional varieties, so if you're gardening in Florida or other subtropical areas, this is a really solid option to consider. Mary Washington is more of a classic heirloom variety. It's been around for a very long time. It's very dependable, but it's not all male, so you may get a mix of male and female plants. It still produces well, but it's just something to be aware of. I personally have grown all of these varieties in my garden located in Orlando, Florida, Zone 10A, and they all performed great. I would say the hybrids did perform better than the heirloom Mary Washington though. A lot of people think asparagus doesn't grow in Florida, but that's not true, at least down through Zone 10. Asparagus struggles in hotter climates like Zones 11 and up. Once you have your crowns, the next step is choosing the right place to plant them. And this is really important because asparagus is a long-term crop. This isn't something you're moving around every season. Once it's in the ground, it's going to be there for years. Do not underestimate the size and space required for each asparagus plant. They get very bushy, like 4 feet wide and just as tall. I made the mistake of planting it in a small raised bed and it took over the entire thing. Then I had to pull them all out to move to another spot, which was not fun. Not only are the plants really big, but their root systems are deep, so don't make the mistake I did. Plant them in a spot that has enough room. Pick a spot that gets full sun at least least 6 to 8 hours a day and has really well-draining soil. Especially here in Florida and other warm climates, drainage is everything. Asparagus does not like sitting in soggy soil. It will rot the crowns under the ground and then the whole plant will die. If your soil is heavy or tends to hold water, I highly recommend building a raised bed or at least mounding your rows up a bit to improve drainage. And this is also the time to amend the soil. I like to mix in compost, worm castings, and some crab meal. If the soil is compacted or doesn't drain well, mix in some fine pine bark mulch. I find that asparagus plants are heavy feeders. The more nutrient-rich the soil, the bigger and thicker your spears will be at harvest time. Now, a question I get a lot is how many asparagus plants do you actually need? A good general guideline is about 5 to 10 plants per person if you want a decent harvest once they're fully established. Asparagus crowns take approximately 1 to 2 years to start producing. It all depends on the growing conditions. You want to give the crowns time to grow, establish, and gain strength to output nice quality spears. I say it's good to harvest if the spears are at least pencil thickness. Asparagus plants go dormant during the winter and the upper foliage does die back. Then in spring, it starts sending up new shoots or stems, which are actually the spears that you harvest. It only produces for a few weeks in the springtime. All right, now let's talk about actually planting those crowns. What you want to do is dig a trench instead of just a small hole. I usually go about 6 to 8 inches deep. Then I sprinkle in some organic granular fertilizer to give each crown a good head start. Next, make a little mound of soil down the center of the trench. Then you take your crown and gently spread the roots out over the mound, almost like an octopus just laying over the soil. Spreading them out helps the plant establish evenly and grow stronger. Then you lightly cover the crown with a couple inches of soil. Lastly, water the area. It will take a few weeks for the asparagus crowns to send up shoots, so just be patient. The shoots will grow and harden into stems that have a very fine fern-like texture. It's a beautiful plant that adds interest to the landscape, which can help you grow something edible, all while evading notice of the HOAs. Make sure you space your crowns about 12 or even better, 18 inches apart so they have room to grow and expand over the years. One thing I always like to remind people, especially if you're just getting started, is that asparagus takes a little patience. You're not going to be harvesting right away, and that can feel hard when you're excited. But if you give it that time to establish, what you're building is a really low maintenance, long-term food source. Asparagus are perennial plants famous for producing from 15 to 20 years. And honestly, once it's established, it becomes one of the easiest crops to maintain. They don't have many pest or disease issues like some other crops, and it's something I look forward to harvesting every single spring. The best time to plant asparagus for just about everyone in every kind of climate is during the springtime. Just make sure that your ground isn't frozen and it's easy to work with before planting your crowns. If you've been thinking about growing asparagus, I really hope this gives you the confidence to go ahead and plant your own bed this season. If this video was helpful, please give me a big thumbs up. That helps out my channel more than you know. Subscribe so you don't miss any of my gardening tutorials. And as always, thank you so much for watching and happy gardening.